All right, y'all, what is up and welcome back. Welcome back. So tonight I want to just talk about how Atlanta is not how it used to be. I feel like this isn't the same city that we grew up in. The attributes aren't the same. The feeling ain't the same. The culture ain't the same. It feels like a totally different city than the one we had around, let's just say 2008, 2010, around that area, maybe even 2012. It's a different feeling in the city, and you don't feel the culture. You don't feel the heartbeat of the city like you used to. And it's not just because we've gotten older. It's because of many different reasons. Well, for one, the music was different around that time. Not just different because they had different rappers, but because the talent that was coming out of the city was so raw. We had, Young Dro, we had Jeezy, we had Gucci. We had these artists that not only represented the A, but each brought their own unique sound. I mean, we had Tip too. We had a lot of these really original styles of artists. And now when you look at it, it's like most of the artists that are coming out of the A, they kind of follow the same tune, the same algorithm, if you will. It's like everything is being done for the algorithm. Nothing is really just being done from the heart anymore. It's not that type of vibe. I remember listening to Shawty Lo and Travis Porter and, even Roscoe Dash, y'all. Like, he was one of the greats. I mean, you can't lie. And the clubs used to break records, y'all. The clubs used to break records, number records at the club. Songs used to break at the club. Amateur artists used to come up to these different clubs and break their records inside the club. It was a different vibe. Like, we was literally on the map for partying. And if you go out nowadays, you realize that a lot of this music that you hear now is just pre-made playlists. These DJs aren't even mixing anymore like they used to. I mean, they literally used to sit there and mix their ass off. Now, it's just everything's pre-made. It's from TikTok. It's like it's crowd pleasing, yes, but at the same time, it's no individuality in it no more. It just feels like some type of cookie cutter, thing that people are just putting on so they can get the bag. And the DJs had a lot of influence. The DJs was the ones that was breaking these artists. I mean, if you got DJ Drama to put one of your songs on his mixtape, you was in there. That was it. If you got, let's talk about New York. If you had Clue to put one of your songs on his mixtape, you was in there, right? Now, mixtapes don't really exist. They don't really exist. People just, they make their music, they put it on Spotify or Apple Music, or, they pay the radio to play their song, and that's it. And of course, down to the streets themselves. The streets literally had soul. And I'm definitely all for renovating the streets and making new construction and stuff like that. But the gentrification just went crazy in Atlanta. The gentrification just went crazy to where the actual spots that people were hanging out at got gentrified. Every single thing. You could hit Edgewood, you could hit Fourth Ward, you could hit East Atlanta Village. And you saw all the graffiti on the walls. The drinks was like $5. Everything was, it was black owned, everything. It was a real family feel. It's like you could go in there and kind of just feel warm being next to people that was from your city, and you felt like you belong. And now it's like this, it's like a hipster type of vibe. I know y'all saw the show Shameless, and y'all saw what was happening in Chicago on that show. It's like that. It's like, they serving these $20 cocktails, and, you got rooftop brunches here, and everything is done so that people can take pictures and post them on the gram. People can take little reels and post them on TikTok or whatever. Nothing is done so that people are actually having a good time. Everything is just done so people look like they're having a good time to show off to everybody else. There was a huge sense of community, but it seems like as the years went on, all the transplants start coming into Atlanta, all the people from out of town, and it's like nobody really knows each other anymore. Like, you walk up to somebody and every single person you see in the city is from out of town. Every single person you end up knowing 10 years down the road is from another state. Nobody is really from here anymore. It's rare to find people and you ask them, where you from? And they're like, I'm originally from Atlanta. You don't see that anymore. It used to be that's all there was. Every single person you met, where you from? Oh, I'm from Decatur. Where you from? I'm from Norcross. Where you from? Oh, I'm from Southside, Riverdale, whatever. You don't really see that anymore unless you go to these like really country areas and stuff like that. But you don't see the core of what Atlanta really is anymore. Those people are getting older, of course, but those people aren't on the scene anymore. But the nightlife was legendary. Y'all remember we had clubs that rang bells across the entire country. Like, Velvet Room and what was the name of the other one? Club Crucial, Club Miami, Prime Time. Do y'all remember Club Prime Time on Covington Highway? Some of the best times clubbing I've ever had, like hands down. And of course, everything nowadays is done for the aesthetic. Everything is done nowadays so it looks good, but it's not actually fun. Y'all remember we used to have people that would just go out on the dance floor and the entire club was dancing. Of course, you had a couple wallflowers here and there, but everybody was just out on the floor having a good time. It was amazing. You don't really see that nowadays. You walk into one of these, spots and everybody is either sitting down or everybody's hugging the wall. Nobody's actually having a good time. Everybody has this smug look on their face, dressed in their best attire now, but just this smug look on their face. And you can tell they're not having a good time. They came here to take 3 photos and take a 30-second video and go home. That's all they came out to do. They don't want to get sweaty. They don't want to take shots. They don't want to have a good time. They just want to take those few pictures, that small clip of a video, and they want to leave. And that's it. You don't really get that sense of where we going next. Oh, we having a nice night out on the town and blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't get that sense anymore. It's just cut and dry. It's almost kind of boring now. But in the early 2000s to the 2010s, you could even still feel the residue of Freaknik. Yeah, the Freaknik that happened in the early 90s and the mid 90s. You could still feel that energy because we had a lot of car shows, parking lot, parties, block parties, and so many community days, Glenwood days, Eastside Day, Decatur Day, Westside Day, Atlanta Day. It was so many different festivals and days that we had. And you barely see that anymore. You barely see that. I saw a clip of some people partying downtown, and it was just like nobody was doing anything. Everybody was like, a couple people were just walking around, but it just looked like a ghost town. Like that spirit wasn't there anymore. That spirit of fun wasn't there anymore. Everything was just flat, And not only that, we have a much stronger police presence now, and it feels like everything is surveilled. I mean, mainly because we got camera phones too. So nobody wants to get caught doing something ratchet, of course, right? Nobody wants to get caught doing something ratchet. And everybody has a camcorder in their pocket nowadays. Back in the day, you could do something and 100 people could be around and it not end up on the internet. But now you got so many people that's afraid to be embarrassed. Of course, you're not going to have as many people having fun out in the open in broad daylight anymore because they don't want to get outed. They don't want to be embarrassed. And I think that makes a huge difference too. And even down to the style, I feel like you could tell just by looking at a dude if he was from Atlanta, by looking at a woman if she was from Atlanta. We had our own style. We had the airbrush style, the Nikes, with the ways we used to wear our hats. Now it's like we really don't have our own style no more. Everything is really just copied from trends from New York and LA and TikTok and Instagram. It's really not our own swag anymore. It's more like, the aesthetic that is being showed online that's acceptable for us to have. We pretty much, I want to say after the party like a rock star phase, that was it. Like everything just started going after trends at that point. But when you talk about Black excellence, Atlanta had Black excellence for real. And it wasn't just about Black capitalism. It wasn't just about getting the bag. I mean, we had barbershops next to recording studios, next to churches. Everybody was helping each other at one point. Everybody had each other's back at one point. And now everybody's out for themselves to get the bag. It's not the same place we grew up in. I always say Atlanta used to be a vibe you could feel in your chest, but now it's more of a brand now. if you think about it. It's more of a brand. It's not what it used to be. We still here, but the energy ain't the same. The energy ain't the same. I still love this city. I still party in this city. And I'm still going to represent this city to the day I die. But we got to move with the changes. And I'm excited to see what happens next. Honestly, I'm excited to see what happens next. Did I leave off anything? Let me know. And as always, if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.